G'day.
Hello there.
I'm Aussie Robbo.
I'm English Jen.
And welcome to our episode where we go to the dark side and venture over to Universal.
We haven't been to Universal since 2017. I cannot believe it, and so much will have changed. We want to do a Velocicoaster. We want to do everything basically. But of course, it's one of our channel episodes, so what do? I wear an appropriate t-shirt. Did say the magic word.
Hello, Newman.
No wonder you went extinct. Now spit in my face.
So we just got to Universal. We got an Uber over this morning. First time. It was about 15-20 minutes. Very direct route, very quick.
Really pleasant.
I think it was $20 for the one way. And yeah, very easy. Dropped us off at the top of the car park. So there's an Uber drop-off area, which I guess we have to go back to when we want to go back to the resort later on this evening. But all very smooth, all very easy.
Got to get that photo, haven't you?
That's where we're going, right? That's where we're going, right?
We're hungry, yes. So we're finally in. We've come to the Today Cafe. I want to try it for ages, so Rob's now queuing for the food and drink. It's a cold day, so I'm going to be getting a long sleeved top at some point as well. But let's see what we've got in store in regards of eating, because I'm quite excited about this. Some pastries, hopefully some cakes. So I had eggs Florentine for my like a sandwich, like a toasted sandwich, ciabatta, and it's actually very tasty. The problem is we had really bad service, so I'm going to give it 3 canobis because the actual dining experience wasn't great. And then I had a sort of caramel latte, very nice, pretty standard. 3 canobis again for that one. Then finally there was the sort of lemon cake, which had sort of like a blackberry blueberry cream with it, and that was actually really lovely. And actually, considering the size of it, wasn't like too stodgy. I would actually give that 4 canobis. Yeah, that one was worth trying. It's quite refreshingly sort of has that citrusy sort of taste with the light sponge. Really easy to eat, and looks great on the camera.
Our intrepid explorer. First glance, he looks a lot more colourful than last time he rode that ride. How was it?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
Cold?
No, not the cold. Well,
is it going to warm you up
wearing
a
a
bit?
jacket because
Because you're sensible.
yeah, basically.
So what do you make of it?
Yeah, so I did. I just went and did Rip Ride Rocket, Rip Ride Rocket when Darren was finishing his dessert. It's a really good ride. So I got on the ride. The seat next to me, so I was a single rider, but I got on the seat next to me, and the chair next to me had been blocked off because it wasn't working, I guess, or something. Maybe it's for single riders. Who knows? Pulled the bar across. There's no bar that goes across the shoulders, just across the waist, and then it came across, but it didn't lock in place, so I could move it back and forward a little bit. So I was kind of questioning whether it was actually working properly, again, like I always do when I get on these kind of roller coasters. And then it shoots off kind of quick, and then you're going up that big straight up and down. And that's when I'm kind of questioning my life choices at this stage. When you're getting back into the roller coasters, I'm wondering if it was a good idea. Also, the fact that I'd literally just had breakfast and then gone straight over to the ride was another life choice that I was questioning. But no, once I got over that initial hill and went straight down, and I didn't come out of the roller coaster, it got a lot better from there, and yeah, just enjoyed it. But it's that initial first kind of hump that's the extreme bit, but very enjoyable. Great first ride into Universal, but hoping to get a whole lot more in throughout the day. So Future Rob here. Just a little talk about our experience in the Today Show Cafe this morning. So I guess the parks, both parks, Disney and Universal, are going through a phase where they need to rehire people and they don't have the staff that they need. But the experience I had this morning was pretty disastrous in the Today Cafe. I was waiting about, say, 15 to 20 minutes just in line just to get served. Then when I did get served, I asked for one of the 3 sandwiches they serve, and the girl didn't know what that sandwich was, so she had to go and ask someone else. And it's literally at the top of the menu, which is kind of strange. Then she charged me for 2 people's sandwiches and 2 drinks, it cost $50. And so I looked at the receipt as soon as I got it, and she charged me for some espresso thing that cost $20 that I didn't order. And so I showed it to her, then she had to kind of refund it. But she couldn't do it, so she had to get a manager. The manager couldn't do it, so she had to go and get a phone, and she was on the phone for 20 minutes trying to work out how to do this refund for this item that I didn't pay for or didn't want. And the food took ages, so the food was taking ages to make during this whole period. And then once I did get the food, there was no coffee, so then I had to wait for the coffee to be made, and that took another 5 minutes. So I think we were in the Today Cafe for well over an hour when I just wanted a quick breakfast. So yeah, I guess, like I say, they are training and they are taking on people. This girl was clearly on her first day, but at the same time, I don't know how it was so disastrous that I wouldn't want to go back there again. So we just got off the Minions ride. It was about half an hour in the express lane, and I didn't really know what to expect because I guess we'd seen a few brief other videos, but I really couldn't remember, and I had no idea what was going to happen. And it's basically a repetition of the Avatar Flight of Passage, but with a lot more kind of jerky motion. Yeah, it's essentially that same ride with a bigger screen so that everyone's watching instead of having your own kind of small one, and then a lot more jerky motions. What did you think?
Yeah, it reminds me more of the Jimmy Fallon ride where you're in the car and you're sort of stationary but you're moving around. There's a big cinema screen, so it kind of takes you away from the kind of virtual feeling of it. But oh look, some Mardi Gras. Yeah, not something I would necessarily want to revisit. A long wait for very little reward for me, but especially on an express lane, didn't really get much of an advantage. So see how that goes for the rest of the day. But yeah, next we're going to head over to back to London actually, and go to Wizarding World.
Watch me now, hey, work, oh work it out, baby, work, you're driving me crazy, work, I need a bit of soul, like a mashed potato.
So after over 4 years, we're now back in Diagon Alley, and it is a busy one.
So we just got out of the Gringotts ride.
Escape from Gringotts.
What did you think?
It's just as good as I remember it. A lot faster than I remember. A lot more sort of drops and dips. Quite short but sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did have a few issues with the locker system, however. So when you go in, you have your ticket, so you don't have to pay if you're just doing it for the ride. So you have your ticket, it has a barcode on it, you scan it on the screen, it tells you which locker to go to. You then go and put your items away, shut the door, and then what should happen is you come back and it will actually tell you, it'll rescan, it'll open that drawer. However, when I went back, it opened up a completely different drawer. So yeah, great system, Universal. So we got one of the attendants, just explained to him what was in there, looking if we had things in there which were actually other, branded or whatever. He overrode it, opened up the wrong locker initially to somebody else's, and then opened up ours eventually. So yeah, it should be really simple, but yeah, be careful.
So my experience on the ride, yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's a fantastic little ride. It's actually a lot more crisp than I remember from in the past. There are some rides I think we've done recently where they didn't seem as crisp or as in focus, but this one, the 3D effects were really effective. I really enjoyed it actually, yeah. Definitely worth a go if you're a Harry Potter fan as well. Men in Black was closed down. We didn't get to do that in the end, so we went over to King's Cross Station and decided to catch the train over here. The express lane was a bit of a disaster because we ended up going in after people who didn't have the express lane, and then the train broke down while we were waiting in the line. But we finally made it over.
Yeah, so we've headed over to Islands of Adventure because this is where all the big ticket rides are. So we first of all come into Hogsmeade and more importantly, Hogwarts. And yeah, we can't wait to get our teeth into some actual coasters.
The lockers for the Forbidden Journey are now outside instead of inside, so you have to go through a whole different section to then go back into the ride.
Trouble, fire, burning, burning, bubble, double, double, fire and trouble. Something wicked this way comes. Double, double, burning, trouble, fire, burning, burning, bubble, double, double, burning, trouble. Something wicked this way comes.
So we just got off the Forbidden Forest in Hogsmeade. Yeah, it was more fun than I remember. That was actually all right.
Yeah, I mean, when I was going around, I kind of had the realization that it's basically a really expensive ghost train.
Yeah, but I will say, for something that doesn't rely on 3D viewing, it works really well.
Some of the screens they're not the sharpest I've ever seen.
No, not the darkest of darks, but
I always hate that spider section. I can't stand spiders.
I like spiders.
Really big phobia. So when you got like the big massive spiders in this big ride, then it really gives me the heebie-jeebies. So yeah, I didn't enjoy that bit. I knew it was coming, and I was still I was like, do I close my eyes? Do I not? But anyway.
I wasn't at all freaked out by anything on it, to be honest.
I do love the outside of the ride. The outside of that building is
beautiful.
Fantastic. The whole way they've
and
done
actually,
that.
the queue system
and the interior
is really
system.
beautifully done.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out on those paintings. You may find they come to life and give you very vital information. But now we're off to the Isle of Isla Nublar, which I'm sure many of you will know as Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. Nobody on it. It's delayed.
It's turned into a ghost train, that's what it is.
Like a trauma for us, but I love it.
So we're about to hit Velociraptor for the first time.
Yeah, it's taken a long time. It felt like a long time. Broke down earlier, so we were a bit disappointed as soon as we got it because it was like delayed. Now we're finally going to go on it. Come and join us.
And that's it. More Velociraptors have escaped.
So, we've just got off what I think is the biggest hair-raising ride of our lives. For me it was anyway. It was...
I wouldn't say the biggest hair-raising one. I still think, for me, Smiler is, but let's go into it.
So yeah, I didn't have the bravery to let go of the handlebars because you literally have like a lap bar. It's very secure, but your feet are off the ground. And this ride just does not let you go. It doesn't let you stop to think about what's happening. The bit I was nervous about most was the hi-hat. So the hi-hat is this bit right here. Oof.
But it comes much later in the ride. It looks like it's at the start, but it's not.
No, it's actually the second half of the ride. It's kind of after the second push. And that is really, the second push is where it really kicks in because you go so fast. You feel the speed like kick in like 10 times. But it's so well themed, and there's so many areas where you get caught upside down for that little bit longer. So your bum does leave the seat. You are safe, but it does leave it for that little split second too long.
It leaves it multiple times. If you let go of after about the first 5 seconds, I let go of the handles, just put my hands up. Occasionally brought them down again when we're going past the rocks and stuff, because I felt like my hand was going to touch the
That's not
butt.
bad.
I just put my hands up the whole time and really enjoyed it. I could feel my bum going off, but I kind of just trusted in the ride and trusted in the bar that it was going to keep me safe, and it did. And I think it made it a lot more enjoyable for sure. I definitely want to go on it a few more times before we go back.
Yeah.
So we're going to do it once more, but then hopefully, because we're back tomorrow as well, hopefully we'll do it a couple more times tomorrow as well, because I'd really love to hit it again. Yeah, for sure.
It's a high. As soon as you get over here, get on it as soon as you can. It's amazing.
Right.
I've got the chicken burger, like the grilled chicken. It's not the best. I had 3 Kenobis. However, not a bad view.
So I've had the cheeseburger as part of my meal. It came with fries. The burger was not the greatest quality. The meat patty was not very good. The cheese was okay, but the bacon on top was pretty tasteless. So overall, as a burger, it's not the best, I would say. I think it was about $14, $15 for the meal with the fries. I guess it's a theme park, so it's fairly expensive, but it didn't seem it was kind of worth the price. So I'm going to give that probably 2 Kenobis, because it was not the greatest. We got 2 fountain drinks as well, and when I put them on, the machine didn't work very well. I know it's one of these ones where it's got the sensor and it has to use it by somehow connecting the bottom. But that was not very well either. It was, not the greatest food, which is a shame, because the location of this restaurant slash eatery slash shop is a really good building, and it's really well themed for the whole film, and it's right next to the roller coaster, which is going on right there. But the food could do with being a bit better quality, I feel. And it also took a while for me to get my food after I'd placed the order, even though other people seemed to be getting it before I was.
Merch! Lots of merch!
What'd you buy? Was that a surprise?
I can show you a little bit. A little bit of fluorescent. Hello. And finally, sparkle.
Well, that's actually really nice. I'm quite impressed by that.
It's got some really nice pins. Universal, you're doing a good job with the pins for this. It's great. Sport of choice. Second time round,
What do you think?
just as good as the first. Sorry. Second time round, actually better. We're a bit further back. I actually put my arms up a bit more.
Brave little boy, yeah.
Brave little boy.
A little bit.
Until, the only thing I'll say is further back you leave the seat more, but more, not just your bum, but the top of your legs as well, so you feel like you're literally hanging by your thigh. But it's just an amazing ride. It's just an amazing, amazing ride.
Yeah, second time I enjoyed it. As much as the first time, I'd say. I got a little freaked out for a second there, and I did actually take my hands down and grab hold of the bars for a little bit. But no, very enjoyable ride, and hopefully we'll do it again a few more times tomorrow. It's great that they put that building right next to the ride. Great they put the building right next to the ride as well.
Also, you get braver and braver with each go, I think.
Yes, hopefully.
Braver and braver.
Never know, by the end of the trip you might actually put your hands up for the whole time.
Hanging by my toes.
Hogwarts is down to 60 minutes.
Yeah, it's like you and me fighting over pizza. So we're getting towards the end of the day, and time to go for a little bit bigger of a beast.
So we just got off Skull Island.
Skull Island.
Some island. How was it?
It was better than I remember. We only did it once back in 2017, and it wasn't. I think a lot of the elements weren't working then, like the water effect.
No, they worked there because I was on that side.
Oh, okay, that might be why then, because I wasn't there. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It's just that last element is a bit disappointing. The Kong. I know it's carried over from Kong Confrontation.
Yeah, for me, it's very detached. I mean, the depth that you see in a lot of the 3D effects as you're going through makes it look really realistic. It is quite good. There was only one section where I was like, maybe I could have done it with a color grade, but anyway. But no, the whole depth, and there's a lot of action going on. Yeah, a lot.
I like the story element a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't take a lot.
That scared me as a kid going on that one, I tell you. The creatures look very realistic.
A lot of the things here would have scared me as a kid. They scare me as an adult right now.
And then we got one more ride left in us.
We're going to go get wet.
Yeah.
Let's go and get wet.
So, we just got off, what did we get off?
River Adventure. Jurassic Park River Adventure.
And how was it, Darren?
Bad idea. Went straight on, walk on. It's been a walk on all day. We got soaked, and a lovely family in front of us took a lot of the brunt of it, to be honest. They took more of it than we did, but yeah.
Oh yeah, we got second row.
You are going to get wet.
It's a very, very dated ride. You were saying the one in California has been updated, but this one hasn't yet.
It needs to have the Jurassic World update desperately. Much more going on.
The creatures.
Who knows what kind of creatures come out of the bushes? That one was from a Stone Age.
Some of them are very stationary and stagnant, and they're looking very old.
Yeah, day glow as well.
It's quite cool when you get inside the building.
Yeah, the building's really cool. But,
Yeah.
it needs an update. Come on, Universal Orlando, give it an update. We need it.
Yeah.
The mask's all wet.
Why did the water shoot on your face?
Yeah. You know what happens in Jurassic Park films with these? Something always jumps on them and breaks them.
So we've just walked back past Velocicoaster for one last time today at night, and it looks like a completely different experience with all the blue lights on the roller coaster, but pitch black everywhere. I imagine it's a lot harder to work out where you are going.
To buy or not to buy? That is the question.
You love me. You really love me. Shiny. Shiny spider. I quite like that.
Darren, where are we?
NBC.
NBC what?
I don't know. NBC something.
Bar
NBC
and Grill?
Grill and Brew. NBC Grill and Brew.
And what are we doing here?
We're eating. We're drinking.
We're here for dinner with Mrs. Bazza and ThemeParkBazza.
Yeah. Always Mrs. Bazza first in our eyes. So,
And what have you
he comes second. So,
What have you ordered?
I've ordered mac and cheese, buffalo mac and cheese. So that comes with kind of chicken, so it's buffalo chicken, and then about applewood cheese. So you might like that one because that's one of your favourites.
Yeah, I have ordered the chicken pesto pasta. I'm guessing this place is probably very good for the burgers and the meat, but I had a burger this afternoon, which wasn't very good. So yeah, I'm going to go for something a bit more civilized and some pesto chicken pasta.
While we peruse Sports Ball. Yeah. Sports Ball.
Good blue cheese addition to this is really good, and so is the applewood.
You like applewood now, are you?
No, I like applewood, just not just applewood. And the crumb on the chicken is beautiful.
Your mac and cheese.
Well, I think it was successful. Tomorrow, if it gets hot by any chance, I'll be sweating cheese. Yeah, it was really good. Really, really good.
Yeah, I had a quick taste of yours. Yours was really nice.
Chicken, well, I'd say the chicken was fantastic. Macaroni, nah, but it was a really nice combination.
So, Celebrity ThemeParkBazza, what did you have for your dinner?
I had the pulled pork with cornbread and fries, a coleslaw, and the barbecue sauce.
Yours looked really nice as well, actually, yeah.
It was horrible. I didn't like any of it. I didn't like any single part of it at all. No, it was very good actually. The pulled pork was very tender and very tasty. The sauce is just right. The cornbread is just amazing. Chips with chips. But the coleslaw was fresh. Freshly made coleslaw. You could taste it. It was really crispy and fresh. It was good.
And Mrs. Bella, what did you have?
I had the lamb burger with the
yeah?
fries. It
How
was
was
very
that?
good. Really good. Yeah, really good. Without the feta cheese though. Don't like it.
What sauce did you have?
Tzatziki.
Tzatziki.
It's really good. It's like a cucumber and mint, I think. The sauce is tzatziki, isn't it?
Yeah, normally we have mint sauce with lamb.
Yeah. It's really good.
And Mr. Rob, what did you have?
And I had the chicken and pesto pasta, and I think I had like green beans or something cut in there.
Polished it all.
Yeah, I was hungry because it's been a long day and we've worked hard, but it's quite tasteless. I wouldn't recommend it.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are back at the resort. ThemeParkBazza and Mrs. Bazza have just kindly dropped us off.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
It was a nice way to finish the day. It was a few rides on coasters, which they do best. We've now come back to the resort, like Rob's saying, and of course I've got myself a little bit of a treat. So we have got, what is it? Walt Disney World 50th Anniversary Raspberry Almond Cheesecake. So it's got a little 50 mark on there. To be honest, I just wanted something sweet. Finish off the evening. So we're going to go back to the room, watch some TV.
Yeah.
Quite nice raspberry, like a raspberry mousse. I won't say cheesecake. To me, cheesecake feels like it should be a bit thicker. But this, yeah, it's very refreshing. Very sweet. That's really nice.
It's a very, very soft cheesecake. Definitely a huge berry flavour going on there.
I quite like it, yeah.
I'm getting very similar vibes to the dessert, the blueberry dessert at Pandora.
I really like.
Even though this one has a different coloured glaze on top, it still tastes kind of similar inside.
Well, we were saying the glaze, the stickiness, and the kind of smell that comes out of when you got it out of the box has like a honey. To me, it's like honey rather than almond or anything.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little hint of that, so maybe they have used a honey glaze. But no, it's nice. It's quite a nice way to finish the evening.
It's been quite a long day at Universal today, even though we got there a bit late. And we're back again there tomorrow. So stay tuned for next week's episode, where we return to Universal and see, hopefully it's a bit more of a successful day. It's going to be colder.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
wrapping up. But also we'll be hoping to get a lot of the rides ticked off the boxes that we haven't done today.
Like E.T.
Want to do E.T., never done it. Men in Black,
Yeah.
not closed down hopefully.
And Hagrid's maybe, if we
Hagrid's.
can get there.
Hulk,
Yeah.
you name it, we're going to try and ride it.
Alright.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for watching.
See you next time.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye. So I think a quick conversation needs to be had about the fact that Darren keeps going out on cold days, wearing next to nothing in his skimpy tops, basically with the intention of always buying new clothing at every park he goes to every other day.
Lies.
So as you can see, I'm wearing a jacket because it's actually quite cold this morning. It's only about 15 degrees Celsius at the moment. It'll warm up later on, but at the moment it's quite chilly. And it was the same yesterday, exactly the same. But someone used
Nice cardigan.
the excuse to buy a cardigan, yes.
And then today, hopefully something with Mr. DNA on it. That'd be nice. That sounds really bad.
You want someone else's DNA all over the top?
Over my top. Yeah, so I'm planning on getting some merch while we're there.